our Tremolo series.
In this series, we're going to share with you tremolo pedals by some of our favorite manufacturers.
Thanks for joining us. Today we're looking at the Red Mountain Tremolo from Swindler Effects, and the Beard's going to walk you through stuff that involved a piece of paper.
Yes. Well, first of all, Swindler Effects, we've gotten to know Drew pretty well through this channel. He's joined us for both an interview and I think one of our 19 Conversations series, so we'll try and put some cards up for you, but we've talked to him several times. The thing about Drew is he's some kind of mechanical or
electrical engineer, I think.
Computer engineer, software designer of some sort, right?
He's smart.
Yeah, he's smart. And so he takes circuits, tries to find really, really good circuits, and then puts a brain behind them.
Right.
And he does a really nice job with this, and we really like the stuff that he's creating. So we're big fans of Swindler Effects. And what we have here today is the Red Mountain version 1, but the Red Mountain version 2 is out. So I do have notes because there's things version 2 can do that our version 1 can't do. At its heart, the sounds that are coming out should be pretty similar. I remember reaching out to Drew a while back when we were thinking about doing this series and asked him, is the heart of it the same? Like, is the sound the same? Yeah, the sound should be pretty close. There's just some more functionality in version 2, which he's put a lot of time into that. We have a version 2 golf course, so we know some of that. Anyway, so that's the background of that. So what I'm hoping to do is we walk you through the pedal, I'm going to point out where version 2 can do some stuff that version 1 can't. So, anyway, here we go. Features. Tremolo, so you're definitely going to have a speed and a depth. We have both of those. This has a level knob on it, so you can boost the level on it a little bit to take care of the perceived volume wise. And it also has a waveform knob. And so you have a sine wave, triangle wave, square wave, ramp up, ramp down, and then stutter. Yeah, and stutter's cool. And you also have the subdivision knob, which gives you quarters, eighths, dotted eighths, I guess. I don't know. What is that? Triplets, 16th notes. Standard fare for subdivisions, right? And then there's some other things you can do, and we'll get into those as we go. Typically, when we do the tremolo, we start kind of with the depth to show the range of the depth.
Yeah.
So, do you want to give a reference tone first?
The Revolta Mondata 8 and the Tyler PT22 amp. Sit and listen to that for a minute. Well, actually, we're running in stereo.
Yeah,
Sorry. You're looking at me like, hey, forgot something. We're also running the PV Classic 30 because we're running this in stereo for this particular video.
So everything you're hearing is coming through both amps.
Right.
All right, depth. I'll start it at noon. We'll kick it on here. We'll give you a reasonable 1, 2... So that was just a sine wave. That's a nice sounding tremolo right out of the gate. A lot of times we do speed. If I roll speed all the way down. I will say, you heard the lowest speed and the fastest speed, and it looked like not a lot was happening. All that high speed came right at the end,
right.
And I kind of think that might be right now because we have
an expression pedal hooked up.
Expression pedals hooked up, and it's kind of fighting with some of the stuff that we have hooked up to the pedal. But think lowest and highest, and you got an idea there. All right, so I think next we've done depth and speed. Now is where we get into some of the other features. Well, probably waveform.
All right.
So we want to run waveforms.
Sure, let's do it.
What kind of speed do you want? Just so.
Yeah, I'll do the
And you're done.
yeah, and I'm off. Wait, what happened?
So that last one, stutter, is manual, and that's pretty cool. Just for point of reference, we went sine wave, triangle wave, square wave, then the ramp up, and then the ramp down. So, and interesting, if we go back to, I'm going to go to square, I think that's square. If we look at this middle switch, so what the middle switch does on the version 1 is toggles between both, if you're running in stereo, both amps in unison, and then flip it over, now they're out of phase, so they're kind of bouncing like a ping pong effect back and forth. Why do I have my paper? Because if you were to pick up version 2, which is the one that's currently available,
Go to Drew's website and buy it immediately.
Yes, absolutely. If you're in the middle, you're on standard mode. If you flip the toggle switch to the right, it's a 3-way now. Flip to the right, you have harmonic tremolo.
Oh, well.
Yeah, which...
Shouldn't have told me that.
Right, now we might have to... And if you switch it all the way to the left, you have out of phase. So he's added that little feature there. So we show that.
Yeah. I'm still stuck on harmonic trem because that's become one of our favorite.
I know.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we just need to leave it out of phase from now on.
Yeah.
So.
We play out, it'll be a little bit more pronounced because we're probably going to throw some drive on there. You'll really hear it jump back and forth. Of course, if you're wearing your headphones, you probably already heard it.
Right. And I'll try and put 1 amp in one ear and 1 amp in the other ear, and I'll let you know which one, hopefully, in the video. All right, so what other things do we want to look at? Tap divisions, I don't think we need to show that. I think people get that. We have it on quarters right now, so if we tap it in, it's tapping in quarters. If we move it to 16th, you tap in 1, 2, 3, 4, you get 16th notes. Let's focus on some of the other features that this pedal really has. First of all, you have 2 inputs and you have 2 outputs. You have stereo in, stereo out. That's really cool. You use the bottom ones if you're doing mono. And then there's 2 other really kind of interesting, or a couple other really interesting functions. One of them is a ramp feature. So every time you hold down the tap button and keep it depressed, it will start to ramp up. If you hold it again, it will ramp down and it will bounce back and forth. So if we just show that real quick.
Volume, see? It's not that hard. It's not that easy.
So on version 1, that's it. On version 2, you have some control over that. You can set that up so it either always ramps up and then returns to where it started, or always ramps down, returns to where it started, or does what it just did there. Will ramp up and stay there, or ramp down and stay there. So he's giving you a little more control of that in version 2. That's another really nice feature. At the top of the pedal, we have an external tap jack, and we have a TRS expression jack. The external tap jack, if you hook in like a momentary switch, give me a moment, it's my momentary switch. We can do that. It's just... So you have that external tap switch you can put on there. You can still use the tap on the pedal, which you saw. The other thing you can do is, the other side is an expression mode. And the expression mode on version 1, you can set up a favorite switch, you can set up an expression pedal, or you can set up nothing. In version 2, you can set up a favorite switch, an expression pedal, or MIDI.
Okay.
Or is it M1D1? What's the appropriate way to say it?
I don't know. MIDI.
MIDI, M1D1, please
MIDI.
help us out.
MIDI.
So, I hear the pedal show guys joke about that all the time, but I'm not sure which one. I'm not sure which one of us. I'm not sure if they're making fun of the MIDI people or the M1D1 people.
Probably the M1D1, because the keyboard players in my life who used MIDI back in the 80s called it MIDI. But
Expression pedal, you know the drill, right? Heel down. We So with that, in version 2, you get a little more control with the MIDI and stuff like that. You also have a favorite mode in this pedal, which is really easy to set up. So let's say we were going to take something like, we wanted something, we've been pretty choppy.
right.
So let's just take what we've been using, this pretty choppy one. And I'm going to save that as a favorite, so it's just a matter of pushing both buttons and holding them. Now it's saved as a favorite. Now let's move it back to something more like Pat might actually use. And so he has like kind of a sine wave here. I'll let him play, and then I'll push and hold the favorite, and it should go to a more choppy.
All right.
So you have, because you have subdivision knobs and things like that, you could set up a favorite that's really choppy with a subdivision of 8th notes or 16th notes, set up something kind of more smooth and mellow with a quarter note subdivision. So you're playing a song, you tap that in, you get this nice kind of flowing sine wave behind you, click over to your favorite, and boom, you have this real hard choppy that's twice as fast.
Right.
So it's really... What Drew's doing with the brain of these things, right, and the ease of use, I think, too, is really, really impressive. He really has figured out how to kind of program pedals and make the user interface really simple.
Right.
I think we talked about the tap tempo, right? The external tap tempo.
Yep, talked about the expression.
Phase alteration, the stutter mode. I think we hit pretty much everything, and I think I gave you more control on the ramp. You have the MIDI for, I think I got all the notes that I had differences between version 1 and version 2. That harmonic tremolo.
That's nice, I know.
Right.
You shouldn't have told me that.
So if you're tempted to run out to Reverb and look for a used Red Mountain,
Yeah.
keep in mind, probably a lot of the ones you're going to find in version 1.
Right.
version 2, the upgrade's probably really worth it. So we have the Red Mountain, the golf course,
and the workers' comp,
which is one of the best names of any
That's right,
pedal ever created, the workers' comp compression pedal. So with that said, one of the last things we always like to do is just thank everybody that's been tuning in and watching. We appreciate when you subscribe, hit the like button, hit notifications, go out to Instagram or Facebook, follow us there, leave comments. Every interaction you do with the show really helps us out. And like I said, we never want to miss an opportunity to thank you for that. And I think with that...
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding you no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear.
Your chant playing along with that.